Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Sadashiva-Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Smadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sakana Vavatu Sakano Punattu Sakaviryam Karavavakai Tejasvina Vadidamastma Vetvishabhakai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tassate. Om Namo Bhagavate Vaivasvaraya Murtave Brahma Vidyacharya Nachikedase Cha. Atha Dvitiya Valli. Kathopanaishad, second Adhyaya, second chapter, second section. We saw the first two mantras. Puram Egadhasadvaram Ajasya Vakrachedasaha Anushtaya Nashochati Vimuktasya Vimuchyate Yetat Vaitat. That was the first mantra in the section. In this Valli, Bhagavan is giving Rajkedas and through him to us how to realize the Atma through Atma Upasana. See, you may attain the knowledge, but the knowledge is useless until it is inculcated into you through the Nididhyasana. That means Shravanam is important, Manam is important. The Nididhyasana means translating that knowledge to the realization. What are we trying to realize? We're trying to realize the Atma Anubhuti. The Atma is Ishvaraha. So when we start in the spiritual path, the first lesson they give to us, normally we go to spiritual path because A, we have got the maturity or the life's experience, or there is a guidance from the family and the friends, or there is a seeking that has been created within you from the life experiences. A tragedy or a sadness or extreme happiness, anything could trigger to seek something beyond. So the teachers taught us that what we are seeking, which is differently named as the joy, sukham, bliss, or shanti, or the Ishvara in many forms, we look for a means and they start with a very simplistic means. Simplistic means is, yes, what you're looking for is because something you don't have it, therefore you need to take a journey to reach it. The journey could be time consuming, space consuming, but never mind, you do this karmas, do this dhyana, do this vigraha upasana, and that is the right thing to do. So we take a journey and then slowly we are introduced to what is called upasana. To upasana, upa means the supreme, asana means a seat. They place you in a supreme seat. Upa also means close by. A seat in which you are sitting, supreme seat, very close to what you're looking for. Now, now it is the very word itself will give you some indication that what I'm looking for, that bliss, that peace, that shanti, that God, which was told to me somewhere sitting far away, is now within me because Upa, the nearest to me, is none other than myself. My body, my mind, my buddhi is near to me. So the upasana slowly start turning you to meditate on the Atma which is inside. So what about all this path of going through the Vigraha Upasana? That's fine. All this is bringing down. So I worship a God in a form and then do a parayanam of long slogas. Then I condense into Ramanama Japam or Krishna Japam or Shiva Japam. I bring down to a Japam, bring down to a Bijaksharam, bring down to Omkara Upasana. You see, so my effort, my meditation that have high efficacy, so I bring down my vrittis from the Nama Rupam to the Aksharam. This is not to negate anything else before. Everything you should do. But the subtle truth in all this is it is to make you, I don't say constrict, make you focus to bring it closer and closer. Because when you want to be closer to the truth, you need to discard everything else. So the discarding happens in upasana because Shraddha means, Vairagya means discarding anything that is not needed. So therefore, I don't need to really recite the whole Ramayana. I take a Ramanama. Like that, you are focusing, focusing, focusing. In Vedantam, it tells you that that upasana finally culminates into sakshatkaram, which is to worship on the Atma in yourself. Many some religions tell that God has no form. That's absolutely right. We have no quarrel. Advaitam, avirodham. But our mind is incapable of comprehend anything without an objectification. It's called alambanam. Can I, if I tell you, define infinity, can you define it? No, you will find a symbol. Or this is infinity. Because you need to symbolize it. The symbol cannot be put in, you make a sound, infinite, finish. That's define infinite. So the Nama Rupa gives you a kind of a comfort to encapsulate that which cannot be encapsulated. Now, how do we encapsulate Atma? Where is it Atma? And it says you are inside me. So in this first mantra, Puram Ekadashabaram, Bhagavan said, okay, I'm going to take you that. So first of all, to do that, because you're going to meditate upon yourself, know that your body is not you. Body is a city of 11 gates, and you are the emperor of it. This you, the emperor, is a jiva. We'll understand about jiva as we go further. So you who are the Yajamana of this body. So use this body to help you do the contemplation. And what should you contemplate on? Anushtaya, Ajasya, Avakrachedasya. We saw that in the last class. So this Chaitanyam in you, the consciousness in you, on that you focus on it. I still don't know how to focus on it, but it tells you if I focus on it, what do I get? Nashochati. You have given up, you won't have any grief, no fear. Well, I wanted peace. Yes, peace is not that you get as an object. Because if you are getting peace which you don't have it now, it'll go away. If you get happiness that you don't have it now, it'll go away. If you want a relationship that you don't have it now, it'll go away. Anything that you don't have it now is not permanent. That means the shanti I need, the peace I need, it is not that I don't have it. I have it because I am the peace. So I am not actually getting shanti. I'm not asking for shanti. I'm not asking for mukti. Why? Because I am already liberated. Muktasya muchyate. That's what we saw in the last class. So the feeling, the binding that I am not peaceful, I am not happy, I am entrapped, that belittling thought is due to ajnanam, avidya, maya. So what does this upasana therefore do? The upasana draws the light of the chaitanyam. The chaitanyam light is filling your heart. The light comes in, and darkness disappears. You don't need to take any effort. What is the darkness that is? The darkness is not shogam, but the cause of shogam, which is ragadvesha. So when that all gone, shogam goes, that means ajnanam goes. So what is left over is what you're looking for. You see the technique? So Vedanta therefore teaches in a negative phrase using. Advaitam is not a positive phrase. Ad means I means not. Dvaita means differences. Advaitam. No, 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 not true. It's not as not. So you take the same format and then start using it. Na iti, na iti. Not this, not this. So this body is not Atma. That means there's something left over is Atma. So we saw that. The next mantra, when the question comes in, if the Pureshwara, see, Ambal is called Triprantaki. Parameshwara is called Tripurantakan, Tripura Samvartan. How does he do that? What is his three world? He can destroy something because he wants it. You are a Tripurantaka. I am a Tripurantaka. If we know there are three Puris in me, the Jagrada state, the Swapna state, the Sushupti state, the deep sleep state. In all these three states, I exist differently. This we saw before. Vedanta comes back again and again, same concept to refresh your mind. Right now, I am in this experience of talking to you. You are listening to me. We are interacting, exchanging. In the night, if you have a dream, may it be a sweet dream, you create a world. You may be discussing with somebody else, something else. There, you are a different personality. It's a different world. Then you are in deep sleep. You are a different personality. You have three worlds. So you want this. The Tripura Nayakan is you. Nayaki is you. This is what the tattvam of Tripura Daganam. So when you transcend this three world, I mean transcending means I am the dreamer, I am the waker, I am the deep sleep. Therefore, I am not this body, mind, ignorance, conflict. The question therefore come to my mind, okay, if it is in me, oh Guru, it is only in me? No. The second mantra he said, it's not just in you, in the Swarga, in the interspace, in the Bhumi. Bhur Bhuvaswa. If you take the whole universe, it goes to three Vyagritis. In all these three Vyagritis, only Atma is there. And that we saw in the second mantra. Hamsa Sushishat. Vasur Andarikshasat. Hoda Vedishat. Adidir Dronashat. Nurushat. Varashat. Rudasat. Vyomasat. Abja, Goja, Rudaja, Trija. Rudam Brahat. The Rishi is just, whatever comes to his mind, he's just pouring it. Here the Amitabh Raja. Shat, the Sat, that prefix means existence. Satyam, Sat. The Atma exists as Hamsa hai, in Sushishat. In the Swarga as a Hamsa. Hamsa is the sun, the light. Andarikshat, Vasuhu, in the interspace, like air, electromagnetic radiation. It is filling that. Hoda Vedishat, in the Bhumi, it is like fire, Hoda. Dronasat Atitihi, it comes as a gust in the houses. Nurushat, it is there in every human being, not only you, in every human being. Why it says human being alone? Because the Upadesam goes to the Sishya, so it is pointing to him. But the generality comes next. Varasat. Vara means Devas. It is in Devas. Rutasat, in all the yajnas. Yomasat. So Yoma means the Akaya, the sky. It's in the sky. It is in everywhere. Abja, Goja, Rudaja, Adrija. Abja means water bomb. Go means cow, as well as go means Mother Earth. Whatever is come in the earth, all these plants and animals. Rudaja in yajnas, Atrija in the mountains. So don't find a word which is not mentioned, therefore it is excluded. No, it is just a poetic statement to include everything. What is everything? Everything is rhythm. Rhythm means satyam. Brihati means that Brahman. What is that Brahman? This Atma. So what it is giving you a comfort when you do this upasana, when you do nididhyasanam, and slowly but surely when you attain the sakshatkaram, you are able to associate, identify, don't say I see myself, you become one with yourself. Then you will have sarvatma bhavam because you know the oneness in you is in everywhere, in all the worlds, in everything else. Okay? So this we saw. Now next mantra. Now what he's going to do is going to reinforce this further. He says, Let's read it first. See the Vakshyartham, then we go to Lakshat. ऊर्ध्वं प्राण मुन्नयत्य पाणं प्रत्यकस्यति मध्ये वामनमासीनं विश्वे देव उपासते ऊर्ध्वं प्राणं उन्नयत्य अपानं, you must split like that, अपानं प्रत्यक अस्यति मध्ये वामनम आसीनम विश्वे देव upasate. So here he is giving something very interesting. What he's saying, urdhvam prana. The prana is the, let's take the respiration. Urdhvam means upwards. Unnayati means pulling. Urdhvam prana unnayati. Something is pulling the breathing inside. When you inhalation, when you are breathing, air goes in. Who is pulling it? Apanam pratyak asyati. Pratyak means downwards. Asyati. So apanam is going downwards. Asyati. Okay. Who is this? Madhye Vamanam Asinam. Madhye. Madhye means in the middle. That means in the heart. Vamanam Asinam. Asinam means it is placed. It is sitting. What is sitting? Vamanam. What is Vamanam? It's our last class. Small here. Pujya. Angushta Atma. In the Hridaya Kasam. Atma is sitting in the middle. What happened to it? Vishve Deva Upasate. All the Devatas are worshipping. So the literal meaning is Atma is in the center, it pulls the oxygen inhalation, it pushes the exhalation, and all the Devatas, means all the Indriyas, are praying it. What is he saying? Why is he saying? Why is he coming to Prana now? Remember, the Guru is trying to give you the alambanam. When he was, the Upasana started with pray to this Vinayaka, Krishna, Rama, Shiva, Rama Japam, Krishna Japam, Omkara Upasana. Now he has come to the point of Pranopasana, or Pranopasana. He's going to use the prana to show you or to take you to the sthanam of the Atman. Why should he choose prana? In the Prashnopanishad, there is a mantra which says, Atmanayesha prano jayate. Yesha purushe chaya. Atmana yesha prano jayate. Yesha purushe chaya. Like when you are walking, how you create a shadow of yourself. Right? So a shadow comes, you didn't do that. Shadow just happens. Why the shadow comes? Because there's a light and there is a body, a shadow comes in. Right? So wherever you go, the shadow is going. Now, if I need to follow you, I can just follow your shadow. Right? Atma also like that. Atma is following The shadow is following the Atma, the shadow is Prana. Where does the Prana comes in? The Atma is a Parabrahman. The Parabrahman is called a Shuddha Tattva. When it has got this Maya, that means when the Shakti is expressed, then Parabrahman is called what? Ishvaraha. Is it not? When Shakti is not expressed, it is Shivam, Parabrahman. Everything is Layam. When Amba becomes Vimarsha Rupini, the Shakti is expressed, we call the Brahman as Ishvaraha. So Ishvaraha and the Shakti Maya. Maya is what? Maya is Upati. Maya creates all this world. The Upati is what? You know, the Upati is adjunct, a medium. Upati means in Sanskrit, if you Vedanta, some of the words you need to remember all the time. Upati is that which intercepts the light, intercepts the power, and embodies the power. This computer is a Upati, the mic is a Upati. Because I'm able to see the mic because the light everywhere I cannot see. But the Upati intercept the light and it is shown. My light can see it. That's why shadow comes in when the Brahma Tejas comes in from the Ishvara. The Maya Vikaram creates the shadow. That shadow is called Prana. Very important understanding. It's called a Mukhya Prana, which means this Maya Shakti, Upati, whatever embodiment it takes, creates the shadow is there in some form. It is not this prana of breathing. This prana of breathing is a piece of it. Let's call it Mukhya Prana. So if I am an embodied living, so I have the Atma Chaitanyam inside, I have the Manas. My Manas is my Upati. Sukshma Shakti is Upati. The physical body is an Upati. Because this Sukshma Sariram is there, the Sthula Sariram is the Upati, but it is not in front of the Atma Chaitanyam. If you take a light, I put a book, I put a little pen this side. The light creates a shadow of book, not the pen. Because the pen is in front of the book. Book hides the pen. The light refracted from the book or translucent book means that what goes through may make the pen shine. But the shadow is of the book. Same way, the Atma Chaitanyam is facing, or the Shukshma Sariram is facing the Atma Chaitanyam. The physical body is after this. Subtle body is inside, physical body is outside. The inside outside nonsense, I'm just trying to give you an understanding, yeah? Therefore, the shadow of the subtle body is the prana. Understand? The prana does not belong to this body. The body is an instrument to execute certain pranic actions. What are the pranic actions? The most obvious is inhalation, exhalation. Prana Vayu, the Vayu I put it. It's also called prana, but it's not a Mukhya Prana. Mukhya prana is the chaya of the Ishwaramaya Aikyam. Chaya. This prana vayu is what I inhale. It is urdhvam unnayati. See, if you sit and watch your breathing, try not to breathe, okay? Try to control. You can exercise some control. You may not breathing for some time, and suddenly something will come and then pull the breathing inside. You can have no control. Is it not? So you may create an impediment to it, but you have no control. So that power which pulls is prana, mukhya prana. The same mukhya prana pushes out exhalation. The same mukhya prana creates into so many different components of this inhaled vayu. Apana vayu, utana vayu, vyana vayu, samana vayu. When your eyelashes, when you twinkle, when you close your eyelid, how does it happen? The pneumatic process, there's a particular air created in the nerve system, and it's called a kurma. There are 10 such pranavayus definition in the body which controls all this. So all this control has got a power to execute. That power is called Devata. If I am seeing, I have an eye to see, but a blind person has got an eye, but he cannot see. So what's the difference between me and a blind person? Unfortunately, the blind person got the eyeball, the proper eye, maybe a beautiful eye than mine. It's called a golakam. It's an apparatus. But the power of seeing is indriyam. That indriyam is a devata. That indriyam requires panchapudas, and it is supplied by the mukhya prana. So that when it is not supplying that, that may dysfunction. So you can see, so here he is pointing out to the mukhya prana. Look at the mukhya prana. That mukhya prana, everybody is worshipping. So you therefore think, okay, that means I have to do the upasana using this prana. Therefore, the prana is the Atma, Pranatma. I get it now. You think. If somebody is dead, we say the prana is gone, right? The Atma is gone. That's why he's dead. We say Atma Shanti, we say. So after death, the Atma has to attain Shanti. Now, as a student of Vedanta, you must laugh at it because if Atma is going to attain Shanti, that means it is attaining something which it did not have. Atma can never be at Shanti because what you have to attain cannot stay with you. So Atma never needs Shanti. Atma is Shanti. Of course, we say colloquially we don't really differentiate soul, we call it uyir in Tamil, all these words we use. But if you want to be technically correct, you can say prana. Prana is gone. The prana is gone. So it's not prana atma because you must ask a question, right? If prana is gone from the body, see, don't think, in a class we talk about death all the time. It's not amangalam at all. Don't think it's amangalam. We know that death is not a destruction of anything. That what is Jananam? Jananam is a Sukshma Sariram getting a Sthula Sariram. That means with the light of Chaitanya, therefore there is a Chaya. Chaya is Prana. So when the Prana binds a Sukshma Sariram to Sthula Sariram, that is Jananam. When the Prana unbinds, that is Maranam. So this unwrapping the prana and tying it up is an act of prarabdha karma. It is nothing to be worried of. Nothing. It's not. So even when it is untied and retied, it's a mangala karyam. You know. That's why when you do they do that bandhan, right? Binding. You know. We say binding is samsara, but why are they binding? So when you understand the tatparyam, birth is death is not samsara. So don't think it's Amangalam you're talking about. More you get used to it, more strength and depth of character that you have, you can face the life's consequences bravely, peacefully. Because if you don't grab this with both hands and become a dhiraha, this is called a dhiraha. Dhira is one who become a mrityunjaya because that is not there anymore. There's nothing to be worried about. Okay. So let's come back to this question. So I label this because this is the common question people ask and must understand. So the guru teaches me now follow the prana. So I take prana as an atma, no problem right now because I've taken this vigraham as atma. I took this nama as an atma. So I'm just graduating. So no problem. Prana is atma, but it is gone. So atma cannot move. So that means a dead body is an atma or not? If atma is everywhere, so is dead body an atma or not? Or is this rock, this tree, this dog, this mosquito, is atma or not? If there is no atma in that, then atma is purnam, is lie flat. You have to throw it away. That cannot be true. Or if it is there, then what is this pranam that goes? So what am I searching? This dead body cannot say I. So if there is Atma there, then who is worshipping who? Who needs liberation? Understand this? You should go back to Tattva again. Or else we saw in the Isavasya Upanishad, in Taittiriya Upanishad. So Atma is undefinable, but out of compassion, Upanishad gave us Atma not as a qualifier, but as being Sat Chit and Anandam. Existence, consciousness, and bliss. So Atma is realized, seen as any of these three or all of these three. That is Atma. So in a dead body, it does not move. It has no bliss. It doesn't. We don't know whether there is bliss or not. But does it exist or not? Yeah, it exists. Existence is what? Atma. So it has got as a sat, it is there. A rock as a sat, it is there. A mosquito has got a sat and some chit. So The expression of Chitahasam, expression of conscious awareness, defines the Jiva Bhavam. The Atma Bhavam, Atma is not a Bhavam, Atma is always there. We define it as Jiva hai because it has got the Chit, consciousness, awareness. That means a rock hasn't got a Chit expressed there, but Shakti is there. It may be blissful, we don't know. A tree has got some liberation, something is there because if it turns its head around the sunlight, it's got some sort of awareness. A mosquito got a little bit more. Maybe some ant may have a little more. For example, I can smell a good cup of coffee maybe in a 10 meters. Okay. I like coffee. I smell it. But if you put a jar of honey in my table, the ants in my trees in the garden 100 meters away can come. So they may have a much bigger sense, you know. So the size doesn't matter. Each expression of Atma Chaitanyam comes in a different form, different power. So Atma is everywhere. Atma cannot go anywhere because there is no place to go because it's fulfilling everything else. Achalam, Sandatvam, Sarvam, Brahmamayam, Rutam, Brihate. So now our understanding is slightly better now. So in these manifestations of Sula Sushma Sarira bonding, it happens that for Narajanmam, the expression of consciousness is much more expressed. That's the reason why Upanishad says this Manada Janmam, the human embodiment, is very rare. And here you have the Manas as an upati of an extremely high caliber design, able to express the Atma in both Chat, Shat, Chit, and Ananda. Sachidananda Rupam. That means you are able to know that you are existing. I am Asti, I. The Chit, I know, I question it. And I look for peace because I have had a taste of the bliss. Understand? So, so anybody asks the question, you know that Atma doesn't go anywhere. Atma is everywhere. Death is not the departure of Atma. So what is death then? Death is the prana's departure. But we know what is prana. Prana doesn't exist by itself. What is prana? Prana is a chaya. It's a shadow. Shadow of what? An upati. What is the upati we have here? Shadow requires a light and an impediment. What is a light? Atma. Where is Atma as a light? Everywhere. Why I don't see the light? Because you cannot see the light. And upati. Okay. The upati is there, light is there. It makes a shadow. Yes. The shadow becomes most subtlest when the object is subtle. So mind, the antakarana or sukshma sarira, is the most refined material. It's a matter. We say mind over the matter. Mind is the matter. Mind is the finest of the matter. Because it's matter, it can manipulate it. But the finest of the matter creates the chaya of prana and it gets embodiment. Therefore, when prana is gone, the chaya is gone, I mean, what is going is the sukshma sarira. So, sukshma sarira, therefore, is not the Atma. It needs a name. We call it Jiva. So, what is somebody is dead, we call now, is gone. The he is a Jiva. Jiva is gone. And another doubt comes in. What is Jivatma, we say? Jivatma, when you say the Atma in the Jiva. The Jivatma doesn't go. Jiva goes. So I would say for our purposes, we take Jiva or Jivatma, doesn't matter, that represent prana with the Sukshma body, Sukshma Sarira. We had another name for it because how can it go? Mind is insentient. How can it go from place to place? How can it think? How can it say, I want a better body? That means it's got a Chaitanyam in it. Yes, Chaitanyam is Atma. Yes, but it's got the light of Atma. It's a reflecting body. Like when you put a concave lens in front of the sun and put a cotton, that cotton burns. A car moves, energy comes, battery operates, things get animated. The animated stuff doesn't have their own intelligence. They are not sentient. They are still insentient. They are automated. They are robotic, animated. So we call it apasam. Apasam in Sanskrit means mimicry. What does it mimic? It mimics the chit. So chit apasam is chitapasam. So how many words now we got? Prana, soul or உயிர். Soul, I discard the soul. உயிர் in Tamil. और जीव है, जीवात्मा, चिदाभासम. In a technical term, चिदाभास. How does it get the energy to go? What propels it? It propels it because it has got a parachute. The parachute is filled with the fuel called your karma vasana. The karma vasana is empty, it flies nowhere, it's gone. When it is there, it lifts and it goes. It goes and descend into the body where the karma vasana fits. So you see, for the person who is dying or who is dead, he is not going to be sad. Only you and I are sad, oh, he's gone. And largely we sad because we miss something. It's selfish motive. All the grief. I'm crude here. What I'm saying is very crude. But take it with a pinch of salt. What I'm saying is every cry, every regret of anybody's death is because what's going to happen to me? Oh, he's gone. What I'm going? Who's going to look after me? Then okay, that love affection comes. Even the love. Oh, I really missed him. He made me happy. Yeah, you miss him because he made you happy. You won't miss him if he made you sad. You see, if you analyze it deeper and deeper and deeper, the so-called love or the prem that you have in this world on anything is because that person or that thing or that event makes you happy. If you understand this, I'm not saying don't love it. Love is different from prema. If you know that because that makes me happy, I like it, You become very possessive. But if you also know that happiness is because when I see that person, when I get my grandchild, I feel so happy. You say because in the grandchild you see your child. In your child, you see you and your husband, and in deeper you see yourself because you see yourself in the grandchild, or you see yourself in any person. You like the person. That means you are having a sarvat bhavam. You don't see yourself, you don't like him. See, that is pure love. Love is that which does not grieve when it is not seen, because you know it always eternal. But this prarabdha karmam takes you to the body. Maybe if my vasanas are so much attached, my garden and my papas are so big, I cannot be a human body. I may be a daffodil in my garden, or I may be a pest in my house running around next birth, or I may be a grandchild to the same parents, or I may be next Bill Gates somewhere. I don't know. Now, now come back to this mantra. What does it say? It says, you are that prana that you have is coming through by who? By one which is there in your madhye, asinam. So, okay, what is it? Vamana. Vamana, we talked last class also. Vamana, the word va, that dhatu, va udghrane, for vomiting, you know. So seriously, vomiting is that root, to bring out, outpouring, that is va. Vamayati iti vamana vaktaha. The words that you come out of your mouth, that is vamana. It is so beautiful if you understand this. That means Vamana is a dwarf. We know its literal meaning is a dwarf. Visa is a Bhuja Puja, onka praiseworthy. Um, Now I'm saying Vamanaha Vama Yati iti vak. Who is the cause of the vak? Vak Devata. Vamanoho Vishnu Rasaha. He is Vishnu. So Bhagavan says in the Bhashyam, Kritaya Pundarikasa Asinam Buddhau Abhivyakta Vijnana Prakasha. He just says very clearly, Vamana here it means the effulgence of your buddhi. He's touching the point, core point. Vamana here, that which we call as a prana, prana is pulling up and down. Who is doing that? The light of your buddhi, not the buddhi, the light of your buddhi. What is the light of the buddhi? So if you take a mind, a lot of vrittis, the topmost layer is the buddhi layer. Above is a chaitanyam. Chaitanyam is hridayakasam, vamanam. So the buddhi's light come from the light. So you can take it as a chidabhasam or chit. So many make a mistake of taking chidabhasam. That means my prana is Atma. No problem with that. But why he is saying positively? The whole purpose of this mantra and the next mantra is to continue the same process of teaching, negation process. And this particular negation technique is called Anvaya Vyatireka Niyamam. Anvaya Vyatirekam. Anvaya means what? Anvaya means positive way. Vyatirekam is negative way. Suppose I say, um, if milk is there, curd is there. You want to find out the reason. See, this rule is used to uh, elucidate cause and effect theory. In Vedanta, in Tarkasastra, everything is so scientific. You have to do if necessary and sufficient condition. If I say milk is there, curd is there, it's a positive way. We all know that. I'm talking about the organic curd. It's come from the milk. But if I say um, milk is not there, curd is not there, I'm saying the same thing, but it's called a Gyatirek. So here what he's saying, the positive way, because of this Vamanaha, you have this prana, apana moving. That means your life exists. So what happens if the prana is not there? So that is the Vyatireka. So that is going to say in the next mantra. We just touch the next mantra and then we stop it there. Asya visramsamanasya sharirastasya dehinah dehat vumuच्यमानस्य किमत्र परिशिष्यते एतत् वैतत्. You just see the literal meaning for this class and then stop it. Asya. That's asya means this. Visram samanasya. This word means falling asunder, getting out. Sharirastasya. Dehinaka. So let's say the catchword. Dehinaka, that means deham means the body. Dehi is one who wants the body. So who wants this body? The Purusha, the Atma. What kind of Dehi he is? Sarirastasya. It is a redundant word, but he's saying one who has the body. Sarirastasya. It means who has this body. So this Atma, Visramanasya, when the Atma is leaving from where? Dehat, Vimuchyamanasya. When this Atma is leaving from this body, Kim Amatra Parishishyate? Kim Amatra Parishishyate? It is wondering what is there in this body, what is left in this body. So you take it like this. Sarirastasya dehinah asya visramsamanaya dehat vimuchyamanasya. He's basically pondering the Atma which wants his body. If it leaves his body, what is left? There's nothing left. That is the Atma. Now, it shouldn't be confusing you now because I already preempted you. In the third mantra, they give a positive reinforcement. Because of the Atma, the prana goes ups and down. In this one, it says the prana goes away, there's nothing left. But using prana, it says Dehinaha, Dehat. Dehinaha, if Dehinaha is, if you take Atma, it's very important because there's a school of thought which interprets this mantra. Dehinaha means, in this case, is a prana. So prana is Atma. Therefore, when prana is leaves, therefore prana is everything. We preempted that. Then why this confusion? Confusion is, if you want to find a little mouse which is creating havoc in your house, and it goes into a particular hole, and you look at the torch and do it, and you see the little tail of it coming out there, right? And when you start pull the tail, you will find the mouse, right? Or you have something which with a thread on it, you pull the thread, slowly, whatever is tied in the thread comes out. If Atma is tied in a thread, and if you pull the thread, slowly you can reach the Atma, right? So I want to give a name for the thread. What does the thread gives me? Atma. What is thread called? Sutram. So I call it Sutratma. So Sutratma is the object of worship, upasana, uh, by contemplating upon which it leads me to the Atma. So what is prana? Prana is a chaya, shadow. You can also say prana as a sutram because it ties the sukshma sariram with the sthula sariram. And the prana is a chaya. So if I am able to find the thread of prana, I use the pranatma as a sutratma. The whole yoga shastra yoga is following the approach. So if I can take this pranayamam, control the breathing. So when I control the breathing, I'm able to regulate the body. Of course, there are side benefits. Then the yoga goes into multiple ways, for health reasons, mind control reason, all this. But the ultimate reason is if you're able to control the prana, and then you do the prana upasana, then what happened? You are slowly piling up on this rope of prana. You go to the Mulastanam of the prana. Where is the Mulastanam of the prana? Mukhya prana. It is the Hridayakasam. When you go to Hridayakasam, but after the prana disappears, you are one with the Hridaya. So this is one approach to go. It's called Mahavidya, Bhagavan Ramana calls it. Of course, intellectually we say this prana, the jivatma, all this tied up, this personality I created, I call it jiva. I have given a name to it. The name is I. Use the same thing. I am known as Saraswati, but I am I. I am Balaji, but I am I. So what is this I consist of? I consist of this chitabhasam, this sukshma sariram, sthula sariram, prana tied up with an ego. The ego is I know everything. I am the life. I am everything. So what is the avidya there? The light of me is coming from the Atma. Therefore, instead of me being the Atma, the I should be the Atma, which is all pervading Parabrahman. I holding on to this Jiva Bhedam. So Bhagavan Ramana therefore says, hold to the I Sankaram as a Sutratma. So if you are not doing yoga, you don't know pranayama, do that one, then you do the contemplation of I. People should not mistake it. Oh, I said Aham Brahmasmi. Ramana say, fine, I. So I go sit down, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. So it's not right. Because you don't know which Aham you're talking about. You have Dvaitam in you. There is an Aham, which I always say, the Aham that hurts me, And somebody don't, if you don't look at me, don't smile at me, I get hurt. What is that Aham? That is the Jiva Bhavam. The Jiva Bhavam can be approached by the Prana. So here, the Dehi is the Jiva Bhavam. Is it right to say? Technically right to say. Because Atma does not own anything. Because Atma is everything. So you cannot say the body belongs to Atma. No. The body belongs to Jiva. It thinks it belongs to Jiva. Because the Ahankaram it thinks. So what about these qualities I say? Oh, I am a good person or I am a bad person. Ramesh is a good person. Why do I say that? Because the guna is there. Is a guna to the Atma or to the Jiva? If Atma is Ishvara, is a Sakala Kalyana Gunam to Ishvara or to the manifestation of Ishvara in a form I take it. In absolute truth in Vedanta, Ishvara has no gunas, is Nirguna Brahman. Ishvara doesn't think what is right, what is wrong. People ask question, why this cyclone? Why these people are suffering? As God has no pity on them. Does not God, punish the evil people? God has no evil or goodness, or God doesn't know anything, doesn't care about anything. Everything is same. The good and bad comes in the manifestation of the Jiva Bhavam. Of course, there's a dharma for the Jiva Bhavam. Then Dharma Samsadhanarthaya, Shambhavami Yuki. Swami comes in a form, corrects it. But in the absolute truth, there is nothing good or bad about anything. That Atma is Nirakaram, Nirgunam. So the Dehi is not Atma. I know I'm confusing you, but you have to understand the difference here. Here, the Lakshyartham Dehi here is Pranaha, because Dehat Muchyamanasya, when it is leaving the body. So Dehi is Pranaha. If you say Prana Atma, I don't mind you say Pranatma. Don't just say Atma, because Atma does not leave. So Dehi is therefore not Atma. Contextually understand. Dehi is here Pranatma. Sometimes it may be mind. We don't know. Depending on the context. But Atma does not own anything because Atma is everything. If you are that, you don't own that. You are that. Okay. So in the third mantra, Anvayam, positive reinforcement, here is a Vyatireka. If it is gone, nothing is left. What is there in this body? It is a question to the Jivatma. What are you looking at? Now, as a Vedanti, you will say, what is there in this body? You will say, Atma in a Sat form. So can I worship it? If you want to worship it. There are matas which worship the dead in embodiment. Because Atma is everywhere. It decays and deforms because that's a Maya Abhyaktam. Panchabhuta will take away. Panchikaranam. I made a body, I take it back because I need the raw material. Has Atma gone? No. Atma is there in a Panchapudas, in a subtle form. So Atma can never die. It's like the space in a pot. The pot is a upadhi, like my body. The pot breaks. The space inside the pot. Does it go anywhere? No. Does it join anything? No. It is there. Always it is there. It is not the space came into this body pot. Pot came into the space. You will never say there's a space inside the pot, we say. No. Pot is in the space. If the space is not there, you can't read any letters on the screen. The space makes the letters appear. Space makes the window appear. Nothingness make everything. So like that, Atma is all pervasive. So when we that's the reason why we need Shankar's Bhashya, because each word may mislead you. So I stop it here. The understanding here, therefore, is we may, as we go deeper, we can take a prana as a pranatma, or chidabhasam as a jivatma. The I ahankara as yoga sadhana, a sutratma. So when I do upasana on this, contemplate on this, eventually it will go to the root of it. Here, upasana means pulling the string. When you're going, you go to the tip of it. There, the tip disappears, and you are in the Hridayakasa. So that's what the intent of it. So we will do the next mantra next class. Om Sakana Bhavatu.
ॐ सहनावतु
Sakana Punaktu.
सहनौ भुनक्तु
Saka Viriyam Karabhavahai.
सह वीर्यं करवावहै
Tejasnavadhidamastu.